I have lived in this house for 11 years. I know every wall, every crack, every creak in the floorboards. So tell me, why is there a door at the end of my hallway that was never there before? My name is Daniel. I'm 34 years old and I need someone to tell me I'm not losing my mind. It started 3 weeks ago on a Tuesday. Nothing special about that day. I came home from work, heated up some leftover pasta, watched TV for an hour and went to bed. Normal. Completely normal. But when I woke up Wednesday morning and walked down the hallway toward the bathroom, I stopped. There was a door. Not my bedroom door, not the bathroom door, not the linen closet I've opened 1,000 times. This was at the very end of the hallway, a place where there had always been a plain white wall with a small framed photo of my grandmother. The photo was gone, and in its place was a door. It was old looking, dark brown wood, almost black, with a brass handle that had gone green with age. The kind of door you'd find in a house built 100 years ago. Not the kind of door that belongs in a 1990s suburban home. I stood there for a full minute, just staring at it. I told myself I was still half asleep. I went to the bathroom, splashed water on my face, and walked back down the hallway. The door was still there. I called my landlord that morning. I've been renting this place for 3 years and Micah's always been straightforward with me. I asked him if there had ever been any renovations done to the hallway, any walls knocked down, any rooms added. He went quiet for a moment. No, he said. That hallway has always been exactly the same. Why? I didn't know what to tell him. I said it was nothing and hung up. For 2 days, I didn't touch the door. I walked past it every morning and every night. Sometimes I'd stand in front of it for a few seconds, hand hovering near the handle, and then pull away. It was cold. Not the air around it, the door itself. Every time I passed close enough, I could feel a chill radiating from the wood like it was the door of a freezer. On Friday night, my friend Jesse came over. We were watching a movie when I casually said, "Hey, when did that door show up?" He looked at me like I had two heads. "What door?" I pointed down the hallway. Jesse squinted. "What are you talking about? That's just a wall, man." My blood went cold. I walked him right up to it. I put his hand on the wood. I watched his face change from confused to uncomfortable to something I can only describe as deeply unsettled. "That's weird," he said quietly. "I didn't see it until you pointed at it. How did I not see it?" Neither of us had an answer for that. Jesse left early that night. He said he had somewhere to be, but I saw the way he looked back at the hallway before he closed the front door. He didn't have somewhere to be. He was scared. So was I. That night, I sat on the floor across from the door and just watched it. I don't know what I was waiting for. Maybe for it to disappear the same way it had appeared. Maybe for it to open on its own. Around 2 a.m., I heard something. A sound from behind the door. Not a loud sound. Not a bang or a scream, something worse. A quiet, steady sound, like breathing. Slow, deep breathing. The kind of sound the person makes when they're in a very deep sleep. Something was breathing behind that door. I grabbed my phone and turned on the flashlight. My hand was shaking so badly I nearly dropped it. I pressed my ear to the wood and immediately pulled back. It wasn't just breathing anymore. There were words, faint, mumbled, like someone talking in their sleep. I couldn't make out most of it, but one phrase, one short phrase came through clearly. "Let me out." I slept in my car that night. The next morning, I came back inside with the intention of opening that door no matter what. I was done being afraid. I was going to open it, see whatever empty space was behind it, and call a contractor to have it sealed up. I walked down the hallway. I wrapped both hands around the brass handle. It was ice cold, cold enough to sting. I turned it. The door didn't open. It was locked, but there was no keyhole, no deadbolt, no visible lock of any kind. It simply would not open. I went to the hardware store and bought a crowbar. When I came back, the door was gone. The white wall was back. The framed photo of my grandmother was back, hanging in exactly the same spot it had always been. I stood there for 10 minutes, pressing my palms against the wall, looking for a seam, a crack, any evidence that a door had ever been there. Nothing. I thought it was over. I thought whatever strange thing that had invaded my home had simply left. I was wrong. Last night, 3 weeks after that first morning, I was woken up at 3 a.m. by a sound. Knocking. Not from the front door, not from any door in my apartment. It was coming from inside the wall at the end of my hallway. 3 slow knocks, then silence, then 3 more. I lay in my bed completely frozen, listening to something knock from inside a wall that should be solid. Knocking like it was trying to get my attention. Knocking like it knew I was awake. Knocking like it had been waiting. I haven't slept since. I'm writing this now at 6 a.m., sitting in my kitchen with every light in the apartment turned on. And I need someone to tell me, what do I do if the door comes back? Because I think it will. And this time, I think it's going to open. If you made it to the end of the story, don't look at the wall behind you. I'm serious. Subscribe for more AI horror stories every single day. And drop a comment. What do you think was behind that door?